Let's talk about things that actually matter. Welcome in to yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and potentially even tell a friend. Aaron, Michael, Sandman in the chat. I appreciate you guys making me a part of your day, and all the people that show up after the stream and watch it a little bit later because they just want to sleep in. They're a little bit of slackers, but that's okay. They want to talk about it. They want to hear about it later. This is something that happened late Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. No shows on Fridays. Even I got to take a little bit of a break, especially when I'm working another job and doing this. A lot of things going on. My Florida Gators in the national championship. Cannot wait to watch that tonight. Have a show for you tomorrow. Whew, I got a steaming hot Suns take that is in relation to the Florida Gators to talk about tomorrow, regardless if they win or not. But let's go here. This happened on Thursday night, where the Arizona Cardinals made a deal that a lot of people were kind of freaking out about. A lot of people talking about why isn't Trey McBride extended yet? And one thing that I kept saying to everyone was like, those extensions usually do not happen right away. Extensions usually happen after free agency. Honestly, the fact that this extension happened now is a little surprising. Normally, these things take place in July, early August. They don't usually happen now. It was like the Kyler Murray thing. One of the reasons that made the Kyler Murray extension so bizarre, which is because Eric Burkhart, Kyler Murray's agent, was forcing it to happen like really soon into the NFL offseason. So I don't know if you take it as a good thing or a bad thing. The fact that the Arizona Cardinals did not toy around and just got this thing done, which I guess it makes sense. What are you waiting for? But the Arizona Cardinals extend Trey McBride and easily made him the highest paid tight end. No worries from me there. And one of the reasons why I don't care that they opened up the checkbook and just made him the highest paid tight end is one, because he was the offense at times. He's never injured. And dang, is he good in that locker room. Everyone likes Trey McBride. Everyone. But I'll go even further. And this is something that I don't think should be a hot take. For the people in the chat this morning, let me just ask you this and gauge the way you're feeling. Would you rather pay Trey McBride $19 million and have $20 other million, even a little bit more than that, $20+ million after the Trey McBride extension to sprinkle in where you would like to put players elsewhere? Fill out this defense, maybe fill out the offensive line. What would you rather do? Pay Trey McBride $19 million a year? Or pay Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase $40+ million a year? Just right there on the silver product for you. I'd be curious to know what you guys think this morning. Because I'm going to make the case that the Cardinals are in a better position to pay Trey McBride than the Vikings and the Bengals were to pay their star wide receivers. And here's why. Trey McBride is a top 3 tight end in the NFL. You could argue he's number 1. You could argue he's number 2. But I won't go any further than 3. He might be even better than that. But I don't think it's fair to say he's top 5, because I do think he's a top 3 guy. Trey McBride is a top 1, 2, or 3 tight end in the NFL. And he only makes $19 million a year. This is why I argue that if you have a star tight end, it makes everything so much easier on you. You don't have to question if Marvin Harrison Jr. ever comes out and becomes the top 5 wide receiver in the NFL that we think. When it's time to pay him, you don't have to go, oh man, do we get rid of T. Higgins or do we keep Jamar Chase? In this case, you say, well, we're only paying Trey McBride $19 million a year. Sure, pay Marvin Harrison whatever he's worth. Or in this case, you pay Trey McBride $19 million and you go get Dalvin Tomlinson, and you go get Calais Campbell, and you go get Josh Sweat, and you fill in holes on this defense, and you still have money to work with. This is not an argument of if Trey McBride is better than Jamar Chase, if Trey McBride is better than Justin Jefferson. That is ridiculous. That is crazy. I don't even believe that. But this is a hard-capped league. And would I rather pay Jamar Chase $40+ million a year, the highest paid players in the NFL that are not quarterbacks, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, pay them $40+ million quarterback money, or pay one of the best tight ends in the NFL $19 million and be able to sprinkle that money in elsewhere, fill holes in on my defense? As cool as it is that the Bengals have Jamar Chase and him and Joe Burrow are a ton of fun, that defense still stinks. And the Cardinals, after paying Trey McBride, weren't like, oh, well, we can't pay anyone else. No, they can't. They went and got Dalvin Tomlinson, no problems. Calais Campbell, no issues. And Josh Sweat. That's what's so good about being a team with an elite tight end. You don't have to worry about him breaking the bank. So not only is he one of the best bargains in the NFL, but extending Trey McBride is just the right thing to do. 4 years, $76 million guaranteed or something like that is an absolute steal for one of the best players in the NFL. And I don't know why the tight end market is as minimal as it is, but that is a hell of a deal. And credit to Monty Ossenfort for getting it done and not waiting when these things normally do. But if you asked me, would I rather have Trey McBride at $19 million or Jamar Chase at $40+ million or Justin Jefferson at $40 million a year, and I was capped on my team on what I can do, I already have the quarterback paid like the Bengals do, I'm paying Trey McBride. Because instead of just getting an all-worldly wide receiver that, let's call it what it is, in cold weather, they're not the same player. You can take wide receivers out of games, double cover them. Trey McBride, good blocker, elite level pass catcher, and then the money to spread it around on defense, Josh Sweat, Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson. You can't do all that if you're paying guys like crazy money. Once again, this is not a who's better take. This is a what is better for your team in the long run. And look at the Bengals defense. It's atrocious. The Vikings aren't paying their quarterback yet, so I can't go in on them yet. But if you are trying to build a team, it's much better monetarily and for team construction to have an elite to have an elite tight end than it is to have an elite wide receiver. Because those guys get really expensive. And they're not as big as tight ends in terms of width. And tight ends work in all weather. Wide receivers, sometimes in the cold, tend to be lesser than. And that's what makes the Trey McBride extension so great. It's exactly what you needed to see from this team. Get it done. It was surprising to me that they got it done so quickly, though. Very, very shocking.